Lakini kwa sasa nakupeleka moja kwa moja huko Naivasha, ambapo kiongozi wa mashtaka ya umma Noordi Hajji amekita kambi huko. Hebu tumsikize ana yapi ya kusema.
Interpretation and jurisprudence, we're happy and we'll go through it all the way. Challenges are there, and it's part of the processes in court. And I've repeated over and over again, and when challenges come, we will face them and we will address them adequately. Kenyans need to be patient because the processes are as they are, and there are a number of parties that we have to deal with. On the issue of plea bargaining that we have here, it's also something and a tool that we hope to apply, but to apply them fairly and judiciously. And I say fairly because there are fears that plea bargaining, if not used properly and if not applied with integrity, could be used to abuse the processes in court. Hence this exercise, and hence the involvement of you as county heads here. But today we are here to listen to the eminent person who is Professor Qureshi, who has been a lecturer. He's also a deputy judge of the High Court in the UK. I will not dwell too much on this. I'm trying to ensure that I'm not told that I'm in contempt of court. I would have loved to address that issue, but I think we'll do that on the 17th of January. But one thing that I want to put on record was the issue of James Turi and whether he was given audience. I want to confirm here, and you can check, that he was given audience by the Queen's Bench Division in the UK in the case of Universal Space or Sat Space LLC versus the Republic of Kenya. So the assertions that we are a third world country, or we are playing second film and we are the only ones who can admit a QC from the UK, we cannot be admitted in the UK, is wrong. And there is evidence to that. Before I welcome the QC, I want to ask Tomika to say a word. As she's coming around, the reason why I said I'll tell you the reason why I was late or why I delayed coming. One was because I was busy giving consent for the prosecution of persons involved in corruption at the NHIF and the Kenya Pipeline Company. And as we speak, arrests are going on, and we shall arraign them in court on Monday. This, I don't know whether you should be clapping. But that is ongoing. I've also given other consents for prosecution that will ensue next week. After Temeka, I will also ask Taib and Mr. Murgo to just say hi. They're going to be part of us. We've invited them here today to also showcase them with QC as one of our new acquisitions, if you want to put it that way. But also to tell them that there are rules and regulations that they will be subject to, and they are joining a team. It's not about individuals. And this is only to assist us to be more effective. Not that we can't. We have the ability, and we have very able prosecutors here. But as we build that capability, we still need some assistance from outside. It's also not new or peculiar to Kenya. In the Crown Prosecution Services, and the QC Qureshi will take you through a little bit. I'll ask him to do that. They have panels. They have A panels and B panels that are private, from the private sector. So this is not only for Kenya. It is something that is practiced within the Commonwealth jurisdiction. Maybe Tameka will also tell us, maybe even in the US, I don't know. You have special prosecutors to assist. We are going through a very dicey phase within our history in Kenya. And we therefore need to put the best amongst us together with what we have the best within us. Most of the heads here are very capable people. But remember, we also need to be at the county, and we cannot be everywhere. But we will be building that team. And we have the support from the government to build a formidable team. Our terms will be reviewed to reflect the work that we are doing. So with those few words, I'll ask Tameka first to come in, and then Taib and Mr. Murgo.
Thank you, Director Hajji, Secretary Odur, special guests that are here today, all protocols reserved. What I'd like to simply say is that the Department of Justice has been an extremely gracious partner with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions over the past 10+ years. We've been working with you as you have embarked on this journey of doing plea agreements, plea negotiations, plea bargaining, from the establishment of your plea agreement statutes and your criminal procedure code, to the gazetting of the rules, to the hard work that you've been doing today. And we are excited about continuing in that partnership. But what I'd like to let Director Hajji know, and the Secretary know, is that what I'd like to let the Director know and Secretary Odur know is that you have an extremely impressive array of leadership within the ODPP. The county heads, the division heads that I've had an opportunity to get to know and work with over the last 2 days are dedicated public servants. One of the hardest things about being a public servant, and in particular being public prosecutors, is that it is oftentimes a thankless job. We never get paid enough for the work that we do. You're always working endless hours, as I've noticed many of you having to do the double work of being leaders at home, running your own cases, and here trying to set policy moving forward for your prosecutors in plea bargaining. The important part about plea bargaining is making sure that there is uniformity and consistency across the country when you're making decisions about how your prosecutors are going to go about doing this type of work. And each of you have done a tremendous job over the last 2 days sharing your experiences, your wisdom, and trying to forge a path forward so that Kenya can use plea bargaining as a tool to reduce its case backlog and to help address the high remand population that is here facing the Kenyan prison service. So I want to say thank you to the Director, to the Secretary for your leadership of this department, for the selection of the leaders in this room who have worked tirelessly over the last 2 days. And I want to acknowledge all of the public prosecutors that are here. Every day you go to work fighting for justice. And I want to say that on behalf of the Department of Justice and the U.S. Embassy, we are extremely excited about the path that ODPP is taking in terms of addressing your case backlog, the importance that each of you put on ensuring that justice is done every single day. And I know that moving forward, that we will continue to work with you in order to let the public know and everyone who's involved within the criminal justice system know that that is your #1 priority, to make sure justice is served for all of your victims, for the communities that are harmed, to make sure that accused are getting a fair trial and a fair shot at resolving their cases. And I am excited about the opportunity to work with each of you over the next 2 years. So with that, again, I want to thank each of you for taking your time to be here over the last 2 days. And again, Director Hajji, we look forward on behalf of the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Embassy, on behalf of the Ambassador, we look forward to continued opportunities for partnership. Thank you.
Director, Prosecutions, fellow colleagues and counsel, Assalamu alaikum. After 30 years of coming up against most of you in court, I feel like the proverbial antelope walking into the lion's den. But I'm glad I'm here. It's an opportunity that has arisen that we couldn't let pass by. We look forward to working with all of you to achieving the same goals. The DPP, I think, is so busy arresting people so fast that even we are afraid. But none of us is interested in staying on. We just want to get the job done and move on. This is your house. We will work with your rules, and we intend to work together to get the results. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Jambo. Your mic, eh? I was trying to avoid your mic. Then I can claim I was misquoted. On a DPP, Secretary of the ODPP, officials of the UNODC and Department of Justice, my new found brother, QC Qureshi, my new colleague at the Special Prosecution Bar, which is Wana Taib, fellow prosecutors, old colleagues. I'm really, really happy to be here. And it's easy to be here. There is a saying that once a prosecutor, always a prosecutor. And I started my career as a prosecutor in 1986, and I haven't been far from prosecution ever since. And if you're a good prosecutor, you die a prosecutor, because you never get any defense work. Nobody comes to you. Everybody thinks you're too close to the other side. So when the opportunity arose to provide some assistance to the ODPP, I was quite happy. I didn't have to think twice about it. But having said that, to the DPP, I would like to welcome him formally to the most difficult job in the country. If you do it well. If you do it badly, you'll last a very long time, because you'll make no enemies and you'll be everybody's friend. But if you do it well, you'll have very few friends, except, of course, those in this room. And you will have people fighting every day to have you removed from office. So I welcome him, and I think I'd ask you to all give him a big hand. Whenever I see the DPP move, just as he has today announced another decision, momentous decision with regard to